Hello, my future apprentice. Today we will be making a paper airplane out of this piece of paper. Now to start, get a piece of paper. And then with that piece of paper, you're going to want to fold it like this. Also known as hot dog style. You can tell it's a hot dog style because it looks more like a hot dog bun, whereas folding the longer way would look like a hamburger. So you want to fold it hot dog style. And you want to match up the corners, like I'm doing down at the bottom here. And once you match it, slide over so you can get the middle point creased. And on the other side, I'll do the same thing. It's a little finicky, but you'll get there eventually. And then with both sides creased, you can kind of slide along, hopefully. There you go. And that's your first fold. Now usually when you make a paper airplane, you'll see people fold it like this, and then they will just start going at it. What you actually want to do is flip it, because this one's a little bit more complicated. And you are going to take one of these two corners, doesn't really matter, and fold it in on the opposite side. And there we go. It's a little bit hard to do this for me because I can't quite see what I'm doing. I'll take the other side and do the same thing. Slide along, make it nice and flat. And you should be left with a shape like this. Bends in on the middle, bends in on the sides. And then you're actually going to take that whole thing that you just made and fold it down. Just like that. Crease and crease. And now with that, this is a little bit unique to this type of paper airplane. You do that, I don't know, step 2 again, where you fold this in. And you can kind of choose anywhere on here. I like to leave about a fingernail's width, a little bit more, I guess. Yeah. And you crease this. And then you're going to match it on the other side. So whatever you do on one side, you match on the other. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be a paper airplane. And try not to have too many areas where it creases where you don't want it to. But if you do have a couple, it's not the end of the world. It just won't be quite as pretty. And then now you have this shape. Now this is where the difference between this design and other designs comes into play, is where when you flip this up, do that, you actually flip this over, and that piece that we made actually locks it all together and puts a lot of the weight at the front, which is very helpful for a paper airplane design. Now, with this is kind of where it's more based on your personal preference, how much you want to do, because there's not really a perfect line for you to fold for the wing. So you can either do like a tiny wing, wouldn't recommend that, or like a super big wing, but that is a little bit harder to do. You can do it at a bit of an angle if you want, or this, but I wouldn't recommend that either. So I might just do a little bit of an angle, and I'll start it over at the thicker area, because it's easier to start at the harder area and finish there, or finish over here. So I'll just pick a arbitrary spot and start folding it down. I think I'm gonna have it do a little bit of an angle, but not too much, just like that. See, so it gets a little bit bigger at the back, but it's okay. Not super best design I've ever done. This is a little bit too much, but honestly, I think you get the idea. It's not super important. And to match it, so this is where you just fold it, to match the other side, I like to fold this down, keep it flat, and then you can actually take the tip and try to just get it exactly the same. It's not exactly the easiest thing, and I can't really show it because it's like a feel thing, but you fold it so that it's flat on the top right there. And with doing that, you should be able to slide all the way down and get a fairly good paper airplane. Now, I highly recommend, if you're going to build this at home, to throw it slowly. It is not a race. It is more of a glider, not a racer, sorry, more of a glider. And I think be pretty happy with the results. Don't hit anything.